Okay, so welcome to this second part video. In this video, we are going to implement the toSnakeCase function. In the first part video, we implemented the toCamelCase function. In this one, we're going to implement the second one. So the toSnakeCase function takes a string in the camelCase format, as can be seen here, and then produces a string in the snakeCase format. As simple as that. Okay, so we're going to start with the function signature, basing ourselves on this example here. So from the example, we can see that the function returns a string. So we write std_string as a return type for the function. The name of the function is toSnakeCase, so toSnakeCase is the name of the function. And then here we have the parameter of the function, which is a string. So string, we're going to name it also sentence. And we simply start inside of the body of the function. Again, here we're going to do some error checking, making sure that the string is not empty. So error checking. So you have here if sentence dot empty. So that means if the sentence is empty, we throw an exception. So std runtime error. Then here we have error. The string is empty. That can be an error message. So now that we've handled that, we need to go through the string now, or through the sentence, character by character, and looking for an uppercase character. So we do for, so size t, I equal to 0, I less than sentence of length. So here plus I. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this one and take it outside of the loop because I don't want it to be executed with every iteration. So I write here size t, sentence length, and I simply calculate the length. And here I simply use the variable sentence length, so as not to have a function called with every iteration. Okay, so inside of here we simply look for a capital letter. So here look for a capital letter. So we have here if. Okay, so here we want to do one thing. We want to store the character in a sentence, or in a variable, sorry, so we don't have to do the sentence I operation too many times. So we're gonna do here character. We're gonna call this one letter equal to sentence I, because this one is more than one operation, and then this one is simply storing the variable, storing this value in this variable, or initializing this variable with the value with this value. Okay, so here we have therefore letter. If letter is less than or equal to a, and letter is sorry, here is greater than or equal to a, and letter is less than or equal to z. That means the letter is a capital letter. Okay, so you can have actually to just get rid of these magic numbers in the string. In the function, we can have const here, const char. We can have here capital A equal to a, and also we can also have here const char capital Z equal to Z. So we have here capital A, and here capital Z. Okay, so at this point here, you can have here the letter is a capital letter, but it shouldn't be the first letter of the sentence. If it's the first letter of the sentence, then it is not the camelCase format. So we have to make sure of that. So you have if I equal to 0, that means it's the first letter of the sentence, then it's not a valid, camelCase format. In that case, we simply throw an exception. So you have here std runtime error, open the parenthesis, and here we write error, and write here invalid, invalid camelCase format. For example, that can be an example of error message. Okay, so at this point here, we have checked the format. We've made sure that the format is correct. So what we can start doing at this point here is simply cutting the string. So before that, we want to have a variable which is going to actually store the start position from where we are supposed to cut the string. So you have the start position initially is going to be 0. So the start position is 0 initially, and we also need the string to store the result. So it's going to be std string here. I'm going to have this one result string, and we're going to leave it empty at first. So this is where the result is going to be stored. Okay, and then here we have result string, where the result, that means the string in the SnakeCase format, is stored. So result string is equal to, so we have sentence with substring. Okay, so we start the start position to where the string should start to be cut is the start position here. Initially it is 0. Okay, and then after that, the number of characters that have to be cut from the start position. So let's assume that we have this example here. We're gonna search until we get to this capital letter. The start position is 0, and then we want to get these 3 here, 0, 1, and 2, and 3. The index of the capital letter in the string is 3. Okay, and then the start position is 0. So if we do 3 minus 0, we get 3, and that gives us these 3 characters. So we can have here a number of characters to be cut. It can be simply position of the capital letter, which is simply I, minus the start position. Okay, so after cutting this one here and adding it to the result string here, we want to simply then add an underscore. So what we do here, we can simply do something like that, add an underscore directly. Okay, add the underscore. The next thing that is to be done is to write this one in lowercase, because as you can see, C here becomes lowercase c here. So we convert that to lowercase by simply doing sentence I equal. So you have here to lower, and again you have here sentence I. We don't need to use sentence I here. We can simply use letter here, but it has to be stored in the sentence, because the sentence is what is persistent, not this character here. Okay, so now we lowercase, we get the lowercase of the letter, we store it here. Essentially, this one becomes like a small c. And then now we need to update the position of the start, update the start position. So basically where we are going to start cutting the next iteration. And in this case, we want to start cutting again from this position here. So the new start position is simply I. Simple as that. Yeah. And then after that, we simply go again looking for a capital letter. So let's say we have 3 here, for example, and then it's going to be here like this 3. So we go ahead and look for the next capital letter, for example, this one. I mean, this is the only one left. Okay, so we find this F here. We have the index of this one will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Index is 8, and then C was already the position of the new start position at index 3. So again we have 8 minus 3, so that gives us 5. So this is 5 characters get cut and then appended to the result string, then followed by the underscore character. Okay, and then after that there are no more capital letters, so the search for the string ends, and then there is just this final part that is left, this final part here which is left, and then this F was already converted to a lowercase letter. So all that is left to do is simply grab the last part of the sentence, and append it to the result string. So this is going to be result string equal, so sorry, loss equal sentence loss dot substring, and then here, so we have the start position, and then here we have sentence length, the length of the sentence minus the start position. I'm not sure if that is exactly correct. Let's just verify. So for example, here we have the length of the sentence, which is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And what's the start position here? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you do 12 minus 8, you get 4, which is essentially this 4 here. So that's fine, that's sufficient. Okay, so before doing this, you have to make sure that we were able to find at least one capital letter inside of the input sentence. So we have to make sure can have, for example, so essentially the result string simply gets modified when we do find a capital letter. So we can simply do here if with the result string, if it is still empty, the result string is still empty, then we simply throw an exception, so std or runtime error, because this error can only be detected during runtime. Then here we have error, then we simply have here invalid camelCase format. That can be an error message. Okay, and then here at this point here we had at least one capital letter, and therefore we can append the last part of the sentence and then simply return the result string. Yeah, that's pretty much it. For the function. And now all we are going to do is simply to check if the function works correctly. Okay, so we're going to do that inside a try and catch block. So try, and here we have our catch block here. std runtime error, catch us by reference. Here we simply print the error message, the what function, something like that. And then here we are going to call the camelCase function, or the toSnakeCase function, by simply grabbing this example here. And then here we are simply going to read the output of the function. Sorry, paste it here. And then here we have endline. And now we run and see if you're going to get a correct answer or correct output. Oh yeah, it works fine. getColorFree, that's perfect. That's what we wanted. Okay, let's try one more. This one. toSnakeCase, that's correct. That's what we wanted. That's perfectly correct. Okay. Yeah, so we can see that the function works at this point. I can actually even add one more toSnakeCase format. Let's see if that still works. Yes, it does work. Okay, so yeah, the function does work. Let's just try now our exception cases. We should have an exception now because we start with a capital letter. Yeah, we have an exception. The next exception is the string is empty. Yeah, and or there are no capital letters. So let's first of all remove all capital letters. See if we have an exception for the lack of capital letters in the sentence. Exactly, so it's an invalid camelCase format. Or also, if you have an empty string, then we should also have an error which tells us that the string or the input string is empty. Exactly, the string is empty. Yeah, so that works. We're gonna write this function works as a final run for the program. Yeah, this function works. So that's correct. Okay, yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.